Hello everybody, my name is Aaron, also known as Rebel Zed, and this is actually the first time you're seeing my face. Yeah, I have a webcam, and RimWorld is not really a game that is very good for webcams. They got everything, a lot of stuff all up in the corners and such. But you know, this game, it has a little bit of area up here in the top right that I can put my face on, so how you doing? Yeah, but that aside, we are here today playing a little bit of the Banner Saga. It's a little bit of an older game. It's a turn-based well, not RTS. It's a turn-based strategy game in the same vein as things such as XCOM and the likes of games like those. It's very fun. I played a little bit of my Xbox back when it was like a free game of the month that they had on Xbox Live. But I downloaded it on my computer because I got a free copy of it on my computer. So, you know, I thought I'd play it. It's very fun. I didn't play too much of it on my Xbox. And I have played a little bit on here just to, you know, get myself refamiliarized with the controls and such. So, we are going to hop right in. I'm going to hit new game. The story in the Banner Saga changes based on the choices you make, and we occasionally switch between lead characters, witnessing the story unfold from different perspectives. The gods are dead. In their wake, man and giant survived through a tenuous alliance, driving black destroyers called Dredge deep into the northern wastes. Now is an era of growth and trade. Life goes on. Only one thing has stopped: the sun.
Að sjá dreggjan á ferli neðanbor. It has been several long months on the road. The first signs of snowfall accost us on our approach to Strand, largest of the trade cities on the Val-human borders, and our last collection before returning to the capital.
Okay.
Several days ago, the sun simply came to a stop in the sky. Though during these long winter days, none of us can be certain how long it has been this way. Some of the men in the caravan have taken it as a dire omen. I am not quick to superstition, but I myself will be glad to be done with this year's rounds. We have been warned by stranded travelers about brigands on the path through Ridgehorn, our road home. Our captain seems unconcerned. Perhaps he is as eager as I to be done here. We will rest here this day and inquire further when we speak to the governor.
I love the art style in this game. It's like cartoony, but it's very smooth. Very smooth cartoony, like 80s cartoons. Hello, children. Dun, 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 dun.
Hverfið á braut! Engan eigi ég hlut af máli þessu!
Alright, you've arrived just in time. The chieftain in red and his men are now looking for a tougher fight than they bargained for. Drag around the screen to see your surroundings. These portraits show the order of initiative, taking turns from left to right. Your allies are in blue, the enemy is in red. It is my turn. Movement happens before action. The ring shows your shield banger is active. The blue tiles around him show where he can move. Some characters fill more tiles than others, The horned allies are a race of giants called Varl, who take up 4 tiles each, while humans fill a single tile. This can have a huge impact on your strategy. I'll move him up here. To target an enemy, click the tile on which they stand, and you can either break their strength or their armor. The number between each icon up here shows the amount of what they have, and down here is how much you're going to do. Strength counts as health and damage. A loss of 2 strength means you'll do 2 less damage. If strength falls to 0, the character falls in battle. Armor blocks strength damage, but can be reduced by a break attack. By breaking armor, you open them up to more damage in the future. Since this does 5 damage, and he only has 5 health, we want smash. After taking your turn, the enemy is up next. It will always alternate, even if you're outnumbered. Despite being at full health, the chieftain will do little damage against the shieldbanger's high armor. Now it's your warhawk's turn. He appears to be out of range of these enemies, but can use his willpower to boost his actions. Willpower is a limited resource, so use it wisely. By clicking on gold tiles, you can move further than usual, but at the cost of 1 willpower per tile. So it will take me 2 willpower to get there. Standard attacks only affect a single enemy, but your Warhawk has a special ability which gives him a unique advantage. I click on him, click on his ability called Tempest, and it, down here, describes what happens on that. This one. So if you click on an enemy, it will strike enemies adjacent in a spin attack. They'll attack 2 adjacent enemies going clockwise from the target. So I hit this one, going clockwise, it'll hit. Well, actually, it'll go this way, and then hit this guy. And it takes 1 willpower to do so. Made quick work of the chieftain's bodyguards. When there is only 1 enemy left, player enters pillage mode. During pillage mode, each character moves in order, and there are no more guaranteed turns. So basically, if they have 1 person left, then it's not going to give that person 1 turn for every person you have left. It's only going to give them 1 turn, and the rest of your people go. If they have like 2 people and you have like 5, they're still going to alternate. You know, those 2 people are still going to get a bunch of turns going in between your guys. But if you get it down to 1 person, then that 1 person has to wait, you know, until your whole team has gone before they can get a turn. So. Chieftain looks like, it looks like the chieftain is in some trouble. Your shield banger won't be able to finish off the job with a normal attack, but willpower can be used to boost your damage. So click on his tile. It's only going to do 8 damage. He has 9 health, so if you click on it, you can increase your damage by 1 using a point of willpower. Smash! Chieftain is good. Dun -dun -dun. Getting 6 renown. Renown is basically XP. You can use it to level up your characters eventually.
Like a rabid wolf, that one. How did it come to this? We fool ourselves believing that peace will last. My grandfather built all this from a poor fishing village, you know. He watched the gods die, watched the chaos that followed, watched man and var slaughter each other, even before the Dredge arose. All we've done is traded one struggle for another. Now that there are no more Dredge to war against, we war against ourselves. This chieftain meant to kill me, and he's not the first. A dozen families in the city would gladly take my chair. This one had men waylaying merchants, both north and south of the city, strangling trade. Quite well, I would add, though he denied it to his lust. This sort of wolf doesn't stop biting because the head is cut off. It just grows a new head. I am in a bad way, my friend. Help me finish this fight, and I'll gladly send you on your way with double our king's tithe. Take any men you need. They're loyal, I promise you that. They will meet you down in the proving grounds.
What's it did, man? Chapter 1. Only the sun has stopped. You're approached by a familiar man who walks in step with you as you're leaving the Great Hall. He cuts to the chase. Eirik, steward of Strand. I manage the governor's business. Ubin, isn't it? It is. The governor tells me you'll be giving us a hand. So, what exactly did you have in mind? The Skulflings that you didn't hack up in the Great Hall have scattered after you took out their chieftain. The governor just wants to make sure that they stay down, so hoping you'd join me at the marketplace by the docks. If there's anyone left to worry about, I know who can tell us. So yeah, when you're on the world kind of map view, you can click and drag to move around. Oh, hey, look, a little group of peoples over there. But right now, we want to go to the market, so we'll click on it down here. Let me handle this. You meander through rows of open-faced houses and eroded stalls. Colored canvases flap on a briny current. One man in particular blanches as you approach. Hod, I'm not in the mood today. For what? Talking to an idiot. Skulfling's chief bled out an hour ago, Hod. So when you tell me what rat's anus the rest of them crawled back into, nobody's going to try to kill you this time. They don't talk to me. Hod visibly sweats, fumbling with some dirty trinkets on his table. Wait, just buy one of these. If everybody thinks I'm getting worked over every week, how am I supposed to know much? Just a little food money, yeah? Like that. Intimidate. You motion to Grunulf, your enormous bodyguard, who looms over the man like a snake over a mouse. Gods, Eirik! Laying it on a bit heavy, don't you think? Where are the Skulflings? Noblemen, up by the east wall, but that was months ago, last I know. Hod skulks away with a wave of Eirik's hand, gathering things from his hovel, disappearing for a while until this blows over, you figure. Your bodyguard steps forward. Are we done here? Gunnulf, were you wearing a green back at the Great Hall? Nope, just bought him while we were walking around. Why? You look like a frog. Better than an eggplant. Goes off to look at more stalls. Eirik, that man of yours seemed unreliable at best. A blind dog wouldn't trust Hod, or whatever. He used to be a Skulfling. If they're licking their wounds, they've probably gone to old haunts, not new ones. Nobleman is a meat hole? Best I can tell, the name's ironic. Listen, I know a guy who would love to put a few of these skull on the ground. I'm going to find him. I'll meet you there. After this, I'm done. It's not up to me, my friend. Just make sure the governor remembers his promise. Double the usual tithe. I'll remind him. Got double the money, double the money. Okay, so now we gotta go up to the meat house. You arrive in front of what must be noblemen. A few minutes later, Eirik appears. Goodness gracious, my tongue is all twisted up with these Scandinavian names. Must be with a weather-beaten man introduced as Valgard. I'll point them out, Eirik says over his shoulder. Ready? Flap. Let's get it. That's the spirit, says Valgard. Here we go. Valgard boots open the front door so hard it won't close again without repair. As you enter the hall, Eirik is already at the head of the table, his axe drawn. Wide-eyed, drunken Skulflings scramble to find their own weapons, turning tables and meadsteins in the process. And we enter into combat. Everybody roll for initiative. Well, that's a lot of guys. It's 8 guys versus my 4. Cool. Can rearrange your dudes in this blue area before combat. Click on them. And click and move them all around. Alright. And yep. Bring this this guy a little bit further out. Kind of spread a little bit like that. And ready. Which one is going to take that turn? It's going to be this guy down here gets a turn. Let's move him up there. And Eirik gets a turn. I'll move him stepping over a little bit like this. Kind of want our Varl up front. So I'm going to spend a willpower getting him up there. I'm going to attack this dude. I hit him in the strength. We're going to get Gunnulf up there. And we're just going to leave him in that spot. Alright, you. Actually, you know what? I want you in this spot here. So you can kill this dude. There. He's down. What is your special ability? You have Rally. Okay, I don't really want... You don't have very much health. I don't want you getting surrounded. So I'm going to put you here. When he moves up like that, be able to go like this. I'm gonna try and do three damage to his shields like that. So I can do 6 damage to this dude, or I can do 4 damage to him. But I have heavy impact, which enemies adjacent to the target take 1 damage. So I could do this, hit this dude, he'd take 4 damage, and this guy would take 1 damage. Or I could do Tempest, hit this dude here, and blah. That hit my friend? Okay, that's a thing. Doing my Tempest attack hits my friends if I don't target the correct person. Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. Let's use 2 willpower to just execute this guy. That's would have been good to know before I murdered my friend. I only have 5 health now. We're gonna take a big swing at him. And smash a bunch of his armor. You are going to take 7 damage from that, so we're going to bump that up 1 point and take you out. He's only at 9 health left. I think I'm going to do another spin attack, but this time I'm going to target that dude there. So I only hit the first 2 enemies. You... How much willpower? You still have 6 willpower. That's actually really good. Have you come up there? Hit this dude. I can't quite kill him, so we're going to use that. Get him down to just 1 point. You are going to die. I can kill this dude. Ow, you're getting beat on, dude. Getting smashed pretty hard. Let's do another Tempest attack on this dude. Okay. Come around the back like that. Attack this dude. Take him out. Oof. Yeah, okay. He only has 2 health left. So it's good that we, Oh man, I can't get to him this turn. But my other dudes will be able to get to him before he has a turn to act. Smash. Victory. I can promote Gunnulf. There they are. Gods be damned. I've got to go wash off this blood. Eirik is looking out the hall's windows into a bay. A fleet of longships approaches with sails of bold red and blues. One banner I know well, Vognir. Next for Varl kingship, as we last spoke. The other flag looks important. Yeah, important guests. See what I deal with all day long? That makes a little more sense. You hoped I'd have a stake in saying everything's fine here when the royal guests arrived. Not me, the governor. Now I have to make sure that there are no rotting bodies or pools of entrails still in the Great Hall before they come by. Can I ask one more favor? Ugh, fine. If you happen to stall our guests down by the dock, I wouldn't object. Maybe I will. Eirik and Valgard hustle from the meat hall. To his credit, Eirik tosses the barkeep a spar of silver for the mess. You give an apologetic shrug and go to greet the new arrivals down at the docks. So I guess we're going to go meet the giant king. Or the giant prince, not the king. So we got to go over here down to the... Stop moving. Fine, whatever. It has a little bit of a rebound to it, so when you drag, it moves back to center, which is a little obnoxious. Vognir. Familiar Varl steps... Man, that's freaking loud. It's the majestic music. A familiar Varl steps onto the docks. In your mind, you recall a much younger version tramping through the halls of Grofheim, abundant in purpose. God, Zubin, dear looking agent. Comes with being old, and if there's Vognir, there must be a Hakon. Must there? Still bleeding tributes from the poor and stupid old yaks. What age do you lose a sense of shame? Jorander demands it. I'll take that over lingering to death in Grofheim. Speaking of, I have no sense that you were so far from home. Just returning from Aberang, in fact. I'm glad for it. Hakon motions to the other ships in the bay, sails still fluttering. Golden wolf head emblazoned on red. The king of men, or someone on his behalf. The king's whelp. King's son, Luden. Don't you know, Scrivener? We visit his capital, he visits ours. That's how you make alliances these days. It's a miserable waste of time. Yes, Hakon, it is. I'd almost forgotten. It's a good thing you're around, Hakon. Then you're going to Grofheim? I have the distinct feeling I've finished my business in Strand and was heading there myself. We should caravan. God, I am stumbling over my words really bad right now. I'm not sure why. We should. Give it a day. In better circumstances, I'd drink a week away, but, let's just be done. Find me tomorrow at the gates. What he's trying to say is the prince is a delight to behold. Where is Mogir, Hakon? I have to find him a place to put the warriors. I'm heading up to meet the governor. A host of giants depart in his wake. You recognize a few. Others are strangers to you. Guess I'm off to find Mogir. See you in the morning, Scrivener. I'll be on my way. The young prince of men ambles from his ship. He brushes off his tunic, scanning the beaches with low eyelids. Luden looks for all the world to see the sort of boy who grew up pulling the legs from spiders. The long road back to Grofheim should be more interesting than most years, you think. Yes, interesting. Right. Weariness suddenly settles in, and you chuckle to yourself about what an odd day it has been. One of the governor's men at the Great Hall could find you a place to sleep. On the other hand, if you're going to join Vognir's caravan tomorrow, it might not hurt to share a drink with Hakon, or introduce yourself to the prince they spoke so highly of. Let's go talk to Hakon. Scrivener! You find Hakon in a mead house, surrounded by other Varl. Strand is no stranger to Varl, but rarely sees this many. Hakon waves you over. Went straight for a flagon. Vognir's the one who agreed to pass up a drink. I wasn't invited to the governor's hall anyway. You already missed the massacre. Every year I make rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's the human settlements that give me trouble. No surprise. What this time? When I got here, the Great Hall was already full of bodies. We added a few more. Humans. I guess if I only lived as long as a Yox fart, I might be desperate to make something of myself too. It's not too late to start trying, Hakon. Hakon lets slip a low chuckle. Any Varl could recount his deeds. known as he is for cutting a swath through Dredge, the Wagners' side in the Second War, and regularly since then. Not rarely. Opposite words. Down here, I'm a glorified bodyguard. You might have a point, just another reason to get back to Grofheim. Soon enough, I imagine. You drink until the meat house becomes overbearing, and step out into the cool air outside. And let's go talk to Pritzy Boy. Is this the right place? You find the prince at an inn. Guards blanket the building, including a sharp-eyed varl who must be working for Luden. A woman in red waves you over and stands nearby, arms crossed. Greetings, Prince Luden. Yes, you're with Wagner? I don't remember you. Not exactly. I've known Wagner a long time. I'll be joining you back to Grofheim with my guards. Luden looks up for the first time. The woman doesn't react. Why? I work for the king, carrying tithes to the capital. We crossed by chance. Oh, a tax collector. Fine company. What do you want? I wanted to introduce myself. I hope to learn more about you. I have a habit of recording history. I thought we might talk about your visit. Let's do more about you. Oh, well, you seem to know who I am. Do you have what you need? So I do. I won't keep you. You leave wordlessly. It seems clear Luden was in no mood to talk. Or he's a miserable cur. Probably the latter. He does seem like a miserable twat. Let's go up to the Great Hall. At dawn, you are welcomed by a delivery of goods. At least, you think it's dawn. Damn hard to tell when the sun never moves. The governor's crest adorns the supplied leathers. All there, just as promised. To your mild surprise, you wonder if Eirik had anything to do with that. Your guards take the treasure wagon to the gates. Wagner is already there. A while later, Luden and his men appear, groggy and disheveled. Mogir steps forward. Wagner's quartermaster, if you recall correctly, in charge of his unwieldy entourage of warriors. You know him only in passing. He asks if you're ready to depart. Where's option 2? I want to stay. We will never leave. You follow Mogir and join the others. Usually, the smaller doors set into the gates would have been enough to enter or leave the city, but the town guards have been told to push them open entirely. They mutter things under the breath that are best not heard. Perhaps the governor expected you to draw a crowd, but there's nothing of the sort. Just frustrated, tired people. Summarizes Strond well as a whole, you think? Dun-dun-dun-dun. And now, our big-ass caravan heads out. So up here at the top, we have the day counter. We have our renown, which is basically how well known we are. Our supplies. Our morale, which right now is great. And the number of people that are in our caravan. We have no clansmen, 85 fighters, and 366 for all. The caravan stops for the day. A gift, says Mogir, cracking open mead casks, from our gracious friend, the governor of Strond. Hours pass with raucous laughter as the mead is passed through the camp. Let's drink a lot. It's not often you get the chance to relax on the road. The odds of something happening to the treasure cart is low, especially in this company, so you take advantage. Chug. You rise groggily. The campsite, a casualty of merriment. Mogir is already kicking warriors awake when you spot Luden stalking in your direction. He sidesteps sleeping bodies. You better wake up, you nudge Wagner. You're needed. And allergy's the worst. Ah, it's Luden. Always a pleasure. You look well rested. Wagner releases a caged yawn and receives a hard-eyed stare in return. How long to Grofheim? Ha! We're only 2 days out of Strond, you know. Come, I'll show you on a map. Enter the map. Backpack. What? Backpack? What the fuck am I talking about? It's a map. 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 Sorry. Watched too much cartoons as a kid. I know like all of the Dora the Explorer songs. World map. Drag the map to look around. A portrait icon shows where your caravan is in the world. You can also tap on any location to get some history about it. When you're done with the map, press X at the bottom of the screen. So here we are. We just came from Strond, which is right there, up to Karlsfjord, which is the bridge that we crossed. And we are going to the last gate. The crossing of a small bridge leading to from Vanderfell to the Wandering Road, marked by a small but significant moment in which the Varl truly separated itself from humanity in search of their own lands. And we're going to the town of Vanderfell. Named Bad Weather, the gales that blow from the bay and surrounding mountain peaks keep Vanderfell in a generally unpleasant state. What really cemented the name was the kind of person who would live there, men cast out from Strand for one reason or another, with nowhere else to go. So we're kind of heading into the slums. So we're heading north out of Strand, and we are trying to go to Grafheim, a city up in this area. Probably to the city of like yeah, Grafheim is this city right here, right between the two spears. So we have to go all the way up here, through this, cross that way, all the way up to the two spears. We head north, then east, past the forts. Grafheim's far from Strand. Going to be a long march. You should have drank last night, Luden. Why not take the ships to Skiermisted? What's the point of marching? The Silverstone Bay is called that for a reason. It stays covered in ice all year, and it would tear up the longships. Too bad, though. We could have shown you all the wonders of Skiermisted. A half-sunken city crawling with dredge, Prince. Dredge and glaciers. You like glaciers? Luden exhales through his nose, a poor disguise for his contempt. He turns and bats aside the tent flaps as he goes by, barking at his company in the distance. Do not poke the anthill, Wagner. He seems no happier to be here than you. Spend a few more days with the boy, old friend. You'll be looking for a tall cliff to hop off to. Luden's got the shorter wick than Hagon. Thanks, Wagner. Let's get moving. Another half day to Vanderfell if we're lucky. So this is your camp. Camp is where you manage your caravan. During travel, you can enter camp at any time by hitting the camp button on the travel HUD. While at the camp or in towns, you can upgrade your allies or equipment through the hero's tent. You can pass time by using the rest tent. Resting will improve the caravan's morale. High morale will reduce casualties in war and affect your willpower in combat. Each passing day will use supplies, so only rest when necessary. The training tent will allow you to safely try out characters in a mock battle. Tap leave at the bottom of the campsite when you're ready to go back on the road. So, we made camp here for the first bit of our trip. I think I'm going to call it there for this episode. I will see you all next time. Peace.